Hey lovelies, welcome back to Kelsey Kitchen. On today's recipe, I'm going to be sharing with you on how to cook the perfect and delicious pot of coconut rice. If this is the first time of seeing my video, thank you so much for clicking on this one, and trust me, you're going to love it here. And please do not leave without subscribing to my channel. Thank you. So I'll be starting off with our first ingredient, which is also a major ingredient for this recipe, and that is our coconut. And for this recipe, I'll be using fresh coconut. I have in here 3 fresh coconuts. So I cracked and removed the shell and diced the flesh into tiny pieces that will be very easier for me to blend. Please, if you do not have a strong blender, you can make use of your grater. It will still give you the same result. So I'm going to pour in enough water that will make it easier for me to blend this. Also note that if you cannot get hold of fresh coconut, or you don't have the time to extract coconut juice this way, you can also buy the extracted ones that are sold at the market or malls. But personally, I love to do this myself because the taste is different, the flavor is different. So I am done blending, and what I'm doing right now is to sieve out the chaff. So I'm going to be using this kind of sieve to make sure that I don't have the particles of the chaff in here. If you have a cheesecloth, you can also make use of that for this process. Our end result is to make sure that we have a very clear coconut juice. I am very certain that you're still watching this video up to this very moment, and you cannot wait to try out this recipe in your home, right? But have you clicked on the subscribe button yet? Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, just click on the subscribe button. It is absolutely free. Thank you. So the next stage is to roughly blend our pepper mix, and in here I have my local bell pepper, which is a tatashe. I have my red scotch bonnet pepper and the yellow pepper. So I'm going to roughly blend this and set aside. The next stage is to prep and boil our protein, and in here I have the chicken gizzard, and I'll be seasoning with some onion. I'll add in some water, some seasoning cube, and some complete seasoning that I'll cover and cook until it is tender. Then in a bigger pot that I'll be using to cook my rice, I'm going to add some vegetable oil, allow it to heat up a little, then add my onion, saute for some minutes, like 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'll add my blended pepper mix. Then I'm going to saute this until the oil separates. That is, when the oil starts floating, you know that it is done, because we don't want it to have a sour taste. So while I am frying this, I'll be going in with some seasoning, and that is the salt and the complete seasoning. Please be very minimal with your seasonings, because coconut juice is a very sweet one. You wouldn't want to over season this. If you over season your rice, you're not going to love it. So I'll keep on stir frying this until I feel like it is perfect. And it will be time to add in my smoked fish, and this is the variant of the smoked fish that I'll be adding. I had already deboned and washed with very hot water, so I'll add in here and I'll stir to allow everything to marinate properly. Please, if you do not have this variant of smoked fish or any kind of smoked fish at all, you can also make use of your dry fish. Okay, this is the perfect time to add your dry fish. If you're using cow skin or more, this is also the best time to add it, so that the ingredients will marinate very well, like I said. So I'm just going to give this a very good stir frying. Then I'll add in my washed rice. I had already washed this rice, like I washed it so much that the water ran clear before I added it in here. So please make sure that you wash your rice thoroughly until the water is very clear. Like, take your time and wash your rice properly. If it is the type of rice that needs parboiling, please also make sure that you parboil and wash the rice. So I'm going to stir fry this rice very well, like 5 to 10 minutes before I'm now going and add my coconut juice. If you are still watching this video up to this very moment, it will be very confident of me to assume that you have subscribed to my channel, like you have clicked on the subscribe button, because that is the easier way to say that, okay, I've been enjoying this recipe and I cannot wait to come back and see more of your videos, because trust me, you're going to love it here. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to watch. So I just added in my coconut milk. I'm going to give this a very good stir and add in my meat stock. Then I'll stir, and this is the best time to adjust with your seasonings, like the salt and the pepper, depending on how spicy you want it. So I added in my ginger and garlic, my crayfish, the prawns, and some seasoning cubes. Then I'll cover this and allow it to cook. So the next stage is to fry the already cooked chicken gizzard on a low heat. If you don't want to fry this, you have an air fryer or an oven, you can go ahead and grill this. So I'll fry on a low heat until it turns light brown. Then I'll scoop and set aside. So while I was done with that, I quickly checked on the rice, and the rice is almost done, as you can see. So I just have to give this a quick stir, and as you can see, the rice is already giving what it's supposed to give. The look, everything is just perfect. So I decided to add in some chaff from the coconut. This is optional. If you do not want to add this, do not add it. But if you trust this recipe, just add this because it's going to give your rice some little bit of crunchiness. So I added little, very little, and I gave this a quick stir. So I'm just going to toss the rice around for a few seconds because this is already done. The water is dried up, everything is in check, everything is perfect, and it will be time for me to add in the gizzard. And guys, trust me, this is the most delicious, tasty, and yummiest coconut rice you will ever see. Like, if you try this out and it worked for you, please just come back and drop a comment. Thank you so much for always watching. See you in my next video. Bye.